Hello,
Hey,
hello. Hi, everyone. This is
hey.
Dave and Roxanne.
Welcome to another episode of Online
Online
Business
business
Question
question
of
of
the
the
Week.
week.
We do this episode once per week, and the goal of this episode is to give you value about our online business. Most of the time, we inspire you, we encourage you in this business page, but once a week, we talk about the online business. If this is the first time you're tuning into our business page, let us know where you're tuning from.
Yes, we're currently right now in Banff, Alberta. It's our second night. We came here to Banff to celebrate and also do our yearly planning for our personal and professional life, our business goals for the year 2024. So we finished almost 90%
Yeah, which is amazing.
for today.
Before it would take us a couple of days, right, 2 3
Mhm.
days to finish the whole thing. But just like anything, the more you do it, the more you get better at it. So
Mhm.
we're fired up because if we finish it early, then we get some playtime.
Yes, we're gonna go for a spa tomorrow, so we're excited for that.
That's right. So every time we do this online business question, we phrase it in a question. The question today is,
Yes, the question today is because we posted yesterday about our mortgage free, so we're grateful for that. Um, People are curious, what did we do, right? So we're gonna share with you what are the three things we did to completely pay off the mortgage in less than 3 years.
if you're watching this live replay and you have a goal to maybe become debt free, or maybe become, or like us, you like, Dave, how in the world were you able to pay off the mortgage in under 3 years? Is that even possible, right?
Mhm.
Quite frankly, before we started this journey, it was also kind of mind-boggling for us, right?
Kind of
Um,
impossible for us as well.
so if you want to become debt-free, or you have a dream to become mortgage-free, watching this live replay, just drop the number one so that we could see you, and in the chat, and if you have that kind of desire. So we're excited. We're fired up because we want to share with you some bits and pieces. Obviously, we can't go for an hour to talk about the details, but we want to give you some high level things that we did. Hopefully, you can implement it in your life,
Mhm.
and hopefully, it will give you value. It will help you, especially that 2024 is coming. The year is not ending yet, but you could have a game plan to have this for 2024.
Yeah. So, what are those three things, right? We started our journey actually not 3 years for owning a home. Wait, we owned the home for 3 years. We bought the home in January of 2021. So, under 3 years. And basically, at the time, we actually started, I think, 5 years ago because that was in 2018, February.
Journey of becoming debt free started
Yes.
in 2018, and
Hello, hello, Karen. Thank you. So happy for you and you're beautiful. Yes, we miss you too. Were you
hey,
celebrating your Christmas? Hi, Alma. Hello, hello. Thank you for tuning in. Hi, Sis Janet. Thank you, thank you.
so the first thing we did, and this is and this is like always embedded in our story, because
Mhm.
we've been trying a lot of things at that particular time in
Yeah.
2018, and we talked about we failed in 24 businesses, and February 2018 was kind of our
The
our,
lowest
our
point.
lowest point, our turning point. And I remember Roxanne prayed this very powerful prayer, right?
Yeah, I asked God to heal our finances. I think that's the first step. That we ask the Lord to heal our finances, to lead us to the right solution. We humbled ourselves. We surrender, basically, because looking back now, we realize that we've been doing businesses, we've been doing side hustles, 15 years ago when we met together as a couple. And we just do it on our own. We just, if we have our ideas, basically we kind of consult with the Lord, but not really. We don't really listen. Like if it's, we go on an impulse, we buy things, even if, or we go travel, even if we can't afford yet, right? I think that's the time that we surrender. You know what is your will? What is your what do you want us to do? What are those hard things? Because when you pray, the Lord will answer it. And sometimes we don't like the answer.
Yeah, and humility really is saying that we got here
Mhm.
in the last 15 years, and we pretty much got nothing. We
Yeah.
tried everything from our own resources, from our own knowledge,
Planning.
planning that we did, and we got here. And this is the most we've done. And to achieve, you okay?
Yeah, I need water.
To achieve big things, in
Okay, internet. Okay.
yeah, I think we should turn off our Wi-Fi's. I think. Hold on
Okay.
1 second here. By the way, if you're watching this live, some of you are watching this live, can you drop the number 2 to just want to make sure that you guys are hearing us clearly, because looks like the internet's cutting in and out. Um,
Hello, Vanessa, watching from Texas. Vivian, thank you. So happy for you guys. Thank you. Christmas. What is it? Oh, Christmas in Indonesia. No,
No
snow.
snow. I love
I
that.
love that, Karen. Awesome.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, thank you, Janet.
Online business
This
life.
is Jan. Yeah, watching from Las Vegas, Alma. Awesome.
Great, awesome. So, it started with humility and surrender. That with our own resources, our own knowledge, we can't do it. So we had to pray and say, Lord, heal our finances, lead us to the right solution, because your thoughts, your thinking got you to where you are, right? Obviously your actions as well, but you need something bigger. You need a big God
Yeah.
to accomplish big things. So that's the first one, humility. We had to pray, we had to surrender. That's the number one.
And you know what? The funny thing is when because at that time when we got a letter saying that we were laid off from our jobs,
And that's kind of an eviction notice.
That's like an eviction notice saying that we no longer need you, because at the time we were living on like free rent for like 9 years in that apartment. And at the time, like it was really like I was scared. I didn't know where to go. I was mad at myself. I was mad at him. We were mad at each other that how did we get into the situation that we have nothing. We didn't save anything. In fact, we were buried in a mountain of debts, over 86,000 of consumer debts. Even even at the time, we were living for free. Like we were wasteful. I think that was our mistake, right? So we had to pray and surrender. You know what, Lord, we gave up. Right? I think that's the moment that we humbled ourselves and we surrender. What do you want us
we're
to
done
do?
doing it our way.
Yeah.
We want to hear your way. And this time, with complete humility, we're going to follow exactly the direction you're going to lead us, and we're going to do the work, the character work that we need to get us to bigger places.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I think at the time I heard from, because I'm listening to Joyce Meyer, and that's when I heard the sermon of Joyce Meyer. She's a preacher saying about the baby steps, the financial piece. It's a course. We're going to talk more about that. And I searched it. I told Dave, "Oh, we should do this." And then, what did you say?
At the time, I wasn't humble. I didn't have humility because I was a financial advisor before my previous very first profession in business. And I said, I don't want to listen to it because I know everything. That's what I said. So again, that was the problem, right? The problem usually is not outside of us. Usually it's us, right?
Yeah.
You're where you are today is because of the past thoughts and thinking and action you have, right? So in order to go to different places, you have to think differently. You have to act differently, but also you need to have, different mentors, right? So Roxanne was saying, which leads us to the second thing, which is we took baby steps to get there. We took baby steps. We said, Lord, lead us to the resources, the people, and this time with complete humility, whatever it is, right? We're gonna follow exactly, and we're gonna follow it to the T, and work on the things you want us to work on, right? So we took baby steps, and in order to pay a mortgage, we don't even have a mortgage at the time. We had to work on our problem, which is our 86,000 consumer debt. We had to start there. And where God led us was the baby steps of, we're going to share this with you.
The 7 Baby Steps by Dave Ramsey. I'm going to share quickly here. Let's share screen. Enter screen.
So here it is. So some of the things that God will lead you to. It's in your
Here you
screen.
go. Yeah. Mhm.
Full screen. Yeah, here we go. The 7 baby steps. Some of the things that God will lead you to. It's sounds simple. So what I learned when you work with God is like He's not a microwave kind of God.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen overnight. It's more of a crock pot, which means that it takes longer, but it tastes better at the end. It really, when you put in a crock pot, it takes a long time, right? But it's like really good at the end, right?
Yeah.
So what was being cooked is our character, right? So this was the baby steps. We couldn't be here to pay off almost $500,000 in a massive mortgage debt if we couldn't even take care of our own personal finances, right? You can only be given more if we can take care of less. So the baby steps is simple. Step 1, save $1,000.
Yeah, save 1,000 for emergency, meaning to say, in whatever you have, like you put it aside, because a lot of people, our emergency is credit card. We were guilty about that. If we were invited to go to to a family vacation, to go to fly, we would actually use our credit card. We don't have, like, a lot of people, including us, we thought that emergency fund is credit card, and that's what we did, right?
And and in the course, it told us you have to do this within a month immediately, even if you don't have any money, right? And so what do you do? In the course, it told us to sell things, your trash is somebody's treasure. Your garbage is somebody's gold, right?
Yeah, like he had to sell his golf clubs that's been sitting in our in our storage room for a while, for many years, right? We had to sell two iPads. For some reason we have three. And then we also sell our couch, right? Our extra couch.
Yeah.
And that's how we sold a lot of things to get $1,000.
Second step was by far the hardest step, because
Yeah.
we had 86,000. Because the thing is, you cannot move to step 3 or step 2 if you didn't finish step 1.
Yeah.
And this was the hardest part, because for the longest time we had ABD, attention business disorder, right? If it's not working, we find something else. But where God led us was to this. You have to follow this, because it wasn't about the outside. It was about your internal patience, your impulsiveness, right? So step 2 was the hardest, right? $86,000. We could not move to step 3 if we can't finish step 2.
Yeah, it's tempting to do, saving more, investing more. A lot of people have, like a deep debate for this one. But you know what? If the baby steps works for a lot of people, for many, many millions of people, why not follow that, right? Because before we did, invest, we have some savings, but then they're all gone because of emergency or travel. We didn't understand the biblical principles.
And the hardest thing with step 2 is that at this point, you have to stop using your credit card. Basically, on the course, they told us to cut off all our credit card. We cut it off, actually, but we didn't close some of them. But we just cut it all off, and you were told to pay off all debts and not use it anymore. That was kind of hard. It took us 16 months. We'll talk about how we did that. And then step 3 is to save 3 to 6 months emergency fund.
So you increase the 1,000 emergency fund to 6 months. So if your family expense is 3,000, then 3 times 6 is 18,000, right? So for us, that's how much we save up. Right?
And the next is 456, which is 456. You do it simultaneously.
Yeah.
And pay off home. That's what we just finished. And baby step. It's so simple, but yet so hard.
I remember Dave.
Simple but not easy.
We already paid off all our debts, so he was tempted to buy a home, even if we're not ready yet, because we have to do the step 3, right?
Yeah.
So imagine, it's really mind, like you have to have a mind shift in terms of changing how you manage your finances.
That's right. So this was the second step that we did. Again, we don't have a lot of time to talk about this. Some of you, if you're seeing this and you're getting value from this, drop the number 3 in the chat. Just wanted to see if people are still here with us. Awesome. Drop the number 3 in the chat. That was the second step. What we realized is that when you get good at your personal finances, automatically you become also very good in business. You become a very good entrepreneur, because when God works on your character, like patience, spirit of contentment, following a hard system where you have to follow it step by step to the T. We had to work together, teamwork. We became very, very resourceful because, you got to pay off $86,000 consumer debt within 18 to 24 months, and you got to run like a gazelle intensity, We were working jobs, side hustles, a lot of things.
Not just the online business, right?
At the time, it wasn't just the online business. In fact, when we started the journey, there was no online business yet. February 2018.
And then we started the online business in October. So that's like what, 7 months later, 8 months later.
So the third step is that because
so basically we took the financial piece, a university course. So it's a 9 weeks. So imagine going through that class, right? Online, we did online, and basically it really changes the way we think about money and
about
all that, right?
About everything else. And the biggest lesson we learned from the financial piece is that you are not the owner of your money. You're just a manager. Think about that concept, right? If somebody gives you money, right? Let's say, like there's a billionaire that says, "Hey, I want to work with you. I want you to take care of everything that I have, right? And I will compensate you, but I want to give you 100,000 every year, right? I want you to take care of it." If you're just a manager and you're not an owner, you're not going to take care of it way better than you think if you own this thing, right? So one of the biggest lessons we learn is that you're not the owner of your money. You're just a manager of God's resources. And that shifted the way we looked at money and how we dealt with things. So that was the second thing that we did. But the third most important thing, because with our jobs, it was impossible to pay $86,000 of consumer debt in 16 months. The third thing we did was this. We had to learn high income and high leverage skills. This was the online business. We had to learn high income and high leverage skills because with a job, there's no leverage, right? And again, this is a whole another 20 minutes about this, but there's a lot of things we learn in school that is even no use to the real world, right? For example, I was in engineering, right? And I took calculus, right? I took 3 years of calculus. If you took engineering or if you took calculus, drop the letter C in the chat, right? I took calculus and it was no use. It doesn't give you income, right? In the real world, even if I went to the engineering, job, my first 2 years, I didn't even use calculus, right?
And even like a lot of online business owners in our community, there's so many like different careers that are high paying as well. But really it's limited to what, 70,000, 80,000. That's actually high already, right? Or even 100,000, 6 figures, right? But that's it. You cannot increase it more. You cannot have more hours or anything like that, right? But really, like, we learned the high income and high leverage skills.
Because what we learn in school is really to get most of it is to get you paid per hour, right? High income and high leverage skills, what we learned actually through our online business journey, actually it's not just here for the last 5 years, from also like the online, online skills that we've learned, is that one of the most high leverage and high income skills we learned is lead generation. It's lead generation. It's a high income and high leverage skill because the biggest problem of any business, right? I don't care what business it is, right? It could be real estate, property management, whatever it is, right? Is if you do not generate lead, then you don't have a customer, right? Why is it high income and high leverage? Is because, for example, I was a sales manager in before I became a general manager in my previous career. They paid me close to 100,000 to generate leads and customers. That's what they did, right?
You were calling.
I was calling business to business. I was going to businesses to generate leads for a business, because without a customer in any business, there's nothing else. There's no admin, there's no operations, there's nothing else, right? Without a sale, without a deal happening, right? Nothing else happens after. In the real world, if you can generate a lead for any business, it's a high income skill. It's a high income skill, right? Because if you go to any realtor and says, "Hey, I can generate leads for you," to get your customers for your business, that's high income. If you can go to a, a dealership of cars and say, hey, for all your salespeople here, I can generate a lead for you, right? So you can get sales for cars. That's a high income skill, right? Why is it high leverage? It's also high leverage because if you can create an ad in Facebook or YouTube where it generate leads for customers, it's not only high income, it's now high leverage, right? That's the first skill that we learned that allowed us to earn more money.
Yeah.
To earn more money. Again, the only way to earn more is to have better skills, better value you can give to the marketplace, right? We always talk about this, right?
Yeah.
If you go from a minimum wage job and you want to earn more, you go back to school, right? To earn more skills to get paid. So if you are, working in Walmart and you go to nursing school, at the end, instead of getting paid minimum wage, maybe you're gonna get paid 60, 70,000. I don't know. Why? Because you have now high income skills, higher income skills, right? But a lot of people don't know that lead generation is one of the highest income and highest leverage skill that you can learn, because that's the problem of every business. And if you have never thought about this, the first time you're seeing this, drop the number 4 in the chat, because that is why we started to earn more. But why it's even more leverage is because we're actually generating leads for our own business, right?
Yeah. And also it's leverage because, like, let's say even if you have, let's say you have a high income, right? But then you're still limited to a job, right? But for the high leverage skills, right, you're you're leveraging global, right? You're leveraging social media, internet, right? And that's why, we're in the online space, digital marketing, online business, right? Finding those, high affiliate or high income profit for the products, right? So it's really like learning those skills. But the when we started, we have no idea how to do lead generation, copywriting, sales, or even presenting. Well, you have a little bit for presenting or sales, but a lot of people in this community don't have that. But that's the training that they provide for the online business.
Second is copywriting. Copywriting is how to write persuasively so that you can bring people to your offer, to your business page, to your landing page. How can you write persuasively, right? In our previous online business, we actually wrote the copy ourselves, emails, right? But now you can write in your social media, right? You can write in your social media, in your business page, in your personal profile, to write copy so that people will.
Yeah, it's easier now because there's
ChatGPT. You can use ChatGPT now, right? The titles that we create, right? It's called copywriting, right? You're basically, when people look at it, why is it high income, high leverage? Because you could write something and you're not there. People will look at it while you're sleeping. It's generating leads, right? It's like writing
emails,
videos. It's like writing a book, right? Why is it high income, high leverage? Because it produces something, right? When you write something and you have lots of those writing, right? It will persuade someone to do something that they weren't gonna do, right? That's called copywriting. That's the second high income skill that we learn, right? The third, also the most important skill, is sales and presenting. In our business right now, we don't really have to.
You don't have to.
You have to sell and present, but
there's gonna be coaches that will do the presenting, the selling, or closing the sale. So,
but really, in a video, you're actually selling and presenting as well.
That's true.
So
like posting, social media.
So creating a video ad, you're actually selling something. You're not selling the thing that you're selling. You're selling the webinar. You're selling people to go to the webinar, right? So we learned, how to write an ad, a video ad, how to, persuasively create it and present it so that people will go to our offer, to our webinars, right? It's a skill, right? If you can create a video where it will persuade people to go to your webinar, right? To your, to your offer, right? And you can write stuff in your business page, right? That can allow people to like you, to create, emotions. It will trigger emotions so that people will want to work with you. That's a skill. So this is a high income skill, right? And this is the third thing we did, because you cannot earn more income in the skill sets that you have right now.
You currently have,
We were capped at as a general manager, 100,000. My wife, was making 70,000 in her city job, right? If you wanna, because most people when they wanna earn more, they usually go back to school. But typically, a lot of the things in school is, again, it's not high income and high leverage. It's basically, again, a per hour job, right?
Yeah.
And this is the third thing we did. Quite bluntly, this is the third thing we did, and it's also high leverage because the work that we did 3 years ago or 5 years ago, we continue to get paid today.
Yeah.
Right? We continue to get paid today, which is really, really incredible. So,
Yeah, and okay. Well, the question is, can you still pay off your mortgage? In
yeah,
like in the baby steps, actually, right? In the baby steps of Dave Ramsey. A lot of people
answer is 100% yes.
yes, the answer is 100% yes. But it will take longer. Like it could take 10 years if you're really like
Yes, on
on
average,
average about 10 years.
yeah, on average it's about 7 to 10 years if you follow the baby step and you just stay at your job, right?
If you don't do any
If
business,
you work together as a couple, we've seen so many people that follow the baby steps because it's working on your character, working side jobs, doing a lot of things on the side, right?
sacrifices.
So how do we do it in 3 years? Because we learned high
This
income.
I think this is the separator, because
Yeah.
you can pay off your mortgage, right, in less than 25 years or anything like that, right? Because the term here in Canada is 25 years, right?
Mhm.
And then so really, like, if you follow the baby steps, whether you have a business or not, it could take about 10 years, but in under 3 years, this is what we learned: the high income.
Ojo has a statement. It's not even a question. Oh, my targeting audience is not quality leads. What can I do? It's really frustrating. As it takes time to learn a skill. I heard it in one of my mentors that in order to become successful, you have to suck in the beginning,
Yeah.
right? The problem with a lot of people, our problem is that we want to go straight to successful. We don't want to go through the sucking, right? In order to learn any skill, it's 3 phases. Number one is you got to go through the awkward phase. You kind of know what you're doing, but you're kind of awkward in generating leads and creating ads, awkward. And then next phase is mechanical phase. You kind of know what you're doing, right? You kind of understand what generating leads is. But third thing is, you got to go through the pain of that. You cannot go around it. You gotta go above it, right? You got to go through it.
Yeah.
Because the third phase is the natural and the skillful phase. Just like driving standard or like anything, a year ago, you were so frustrated because you don't have to yield, you don't have to turn, right? But through repetition, through doing it over and over, through learning, through adjusting, right? Going again and again, right? That's when you go through the awkward, mechanical, and then the natural phase, right? So
yeah, it's really like going through multiple campaigns, testing a lot of campaigns, because at the beginning you won't know your target
Mhm.
audience. We have no idea who our target is when we
Yeah.
started. So the more we at the beginning, our target market, like sales, because he was in sales, or network marketing leaders or business partners, but it didn't work for us. What worked for us is when we put it in Christians, right, in parents.
Yeah.
In like retiring our parents, right? That's our dream, right? So the more you test, right, the reason why it's not quality is maybe your countries is not the right countries that they
it's
can
a
afford,
different,
right?
it's a different.
Oh, it's a different online business question. But really, for short answers, keep testing.
We have 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and also watch the mastermind, because we do have weekly mastermind for all business owners. There is a lot of, like, we did recording as well this year and last year.
Inside of the training, we did.
We don't have the time, but I hope that helps. But
we did a deep dive to it. It's exclusive for online business owners. So that's the third thing. So again, just to recap, the first thing we did is we surrendered, and that we cannot do it with our own resources. Number two, we took baby steps, because we could not be able to do this if we didn't pay off an $86,000 consumer debt. The patience, the persistence, putting money in the mortgage instead of buying a new car,
we're tempted to go to Dubai,
to do a lot of things, right?
and all that.
It's because we took the baby steps. We molded our character and to be ready for this, right?
We're sharing all the resources here. We don't get any commission on this one, but it changed our life. I would suggest, even if you don't do anything, but read the book or listen to the book, right? There's a lot of YouTube videos there. The Total Money Makeover book really changed our lives, and the Financial Peace University course.
And the last thing is we learn high income and high leverage skills
Mhm.
again through the online business. If you're watching this the first time, live or replay, just drop the letter L if you're not an online business owner and you want to know how we did it.
Or just say learn.
Sorry, learn, not L, learn. Say the word learn, so we could send you the details on how you can watch the exact same webinar we watched 5 years ago that allow us to learn
Mhm.
all this high income and high leverage skills.
Yeah, comment learn in the comment section. That way we can message you privately, or you can sign up at our website there, daveandroxanneobiso.com. That way we will send you that 90 minutes info session that changed our lives and taught us how to start an online business.
And just like the question earlier, like it's like going to school, right? It takes time to learn the skill set. It takes time to grow, right? And you gotta go through repetition over and over. But the good thing is once you know it, once you learn it, right, it can allow you to generate leads and generate customers, which allows you to almost dictate the income that you want, which is incredible. So
we have 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Our goal was 15 minutes, became 30 because we just want to give you so much value. So thanks for tuning in, everybody, and thanks for staying till the very end. I hope that give you value. I hope that helped you. This is another episode of
Online Business Question of the Week.
God bless
God bless
everybody.
you. Bye.